Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to see joins. So what are joins in SQL? So basically there are four types of joins: inner join, left outer join, right outer join and a full join. So in general, whenever we say join, we mean we are talking about inner joins. So in general, join refers to a inner join. So on your screen currently you are seeing two tables, a department table as well as a salary table. And in both the tables there is one column that is common, which is EID. So what we do is we need to have at least one column that is common in both the tables, and using that column we compare values. And whenever we find a value that is common in both the tables, we retrieve data for those values. So in EID, we have 1, 2, 3, and for department table, and in salary table, EID has value 2, 3, 4, and 5. So when it starts comparing, it will retrieve result for values 2 and 3 in the department table and 2 and 3 in the salary table. So that is the inner join, and it will not retrieve values for EID value 1 in department table and EID value 4 and 5 in the salary table. So this data will be neglected. We will have data only for EID 2 and 3. Now let's see what our result would look like. So after applying the inner join, the result would look like employee name, ID, department, and salary, and the data would look like this. Ajay with ID 2, department ID, and salary 50,000. Bhanu with ID 3, department sales, and the salary is not mentioned right now, that is null. So this should be our result after the inner join. So I hope now you understand what inner join is. Inner join selects the records wherever it has some common data. So wherever the data is common, it will select the records for that data. So that is a inner join. Now, I've created these two tables, the department table and the salary table in SQL already. In case you don't know how to create tables, insert values in a tables, then I have already created a video on this. I will provide that link in the description box and in the I button at the top as well. So if you want to see how to create tables, you can watch that video. Now let's continue with our video. So I'll show you the tables that I've created. So this is my first table, which has the ID, name, and department. And this is my second table, salary, which has just the EID and the salary. Now let's start with the query for inner join. So the inner join says that we need to select our columns first, whatever the data, whatever columns we want in our result. So select, I want the e-name, EID, and department from the department table. So first, what I do is I just write star from department. Why I wrote this was when I say I need to select my columns from department, now it will be easier for me to select the column names. Earlier, when I was trying to type this column's name, it was not giving that in the search. So now when I will, yeah, now you see, now when I just write E, it gives me the column names. So I say I need the employee name, employee ID, and employee department from department table. Now I'm applying a inner join. My second table name, that is salary, and from the salary I want the e salary column. So I'll just say comma e underscore salary. Okay. Now you see that EID is giving me some error. It says ambiguous column name EID. What does that mean? That means that the system, that is the SQL server, is not able to understand from which table to pick the EID. That means EID is present in both the tables, department and salary. So whenever there is a column that is common in both the tables, whichever table you are joining, then we need to mention from which table I want that column. So I can say from the department, select the EID. And how do I say that? So table name dot column name. That's all. Now you see that error has gone. Now the system understands, okay, there are EIDs in both the table, that is department salary, and the system has to pick up EID that is mentioned in the department table. Okay. Now now we have written the now we have mentioned what tables and what are the columns we need. Now we have to mention the condition. So the condition is on inner join, apply the inner join on which condition? On department dot EID is equal to salary dot EID. Okay. Now the system understands that, okay, I have to apply an inner join on these two tables, department and salary, and I have to get details for these columns. These columns are there in department and salary. Now, inner join on what? The system should know on what condition we are trying to give a inner join. So the condition is wherever the EID is equal in both the tables. Now let's execute it. Yeah. Now see, we got the same result, whatever we were expecting here. You have the same result. Ajay, you can compare Ajay, EID is 2, department is IT, salary is 50,000. And the second entry for Bhanu, whose IT is 3, department is sales, and we don't know the salary. So it is showing us null over here. So that is how inner join works. Now let's take into some scenarios as well. Let's say now I'll hide this back, and our scenario is, let's say there are two entries for EID 2. First having a value of 50,000 and the second having a value of 30,000. Now I want to see how will the system compare the data when it says there are two entries for the same ID. Now let's see this. Okay. So what I will do is I will insert a row in the salary table. Insert into salary, and values are 2 comma 30,000. Okay, let's execute this. It says one row effective. Let me see the data. Execute. Okay, now we have two entries for EID2. One was of 50,000 salary and the second entry is of 30,000 salary. Now let me execute this inner join we had already applied again, and let's see what happens. Okay, so now you see, if it sees there are two entries, it will retrieve, it will select both the entries. It is not that it will choose, it won't choose, it will select both the entries. So this was exception number one. We need to remember whenever in an inner join it finds entries, it finds multiple entries for that inner join, it will select all those records. Okay. Now let's say there is one more condition where the name is Rohit. We don't know the EID. The department is, let's say, marketing. And in the salary table, let's say again we don't know the EID, but we know that someone is having a salary of, let's say, 40,000. And there is one more person who is having a salary of, let's say, 60,000. Now let's see how does this work. So the question is, will the nulls get compared? Will the empty values get compared? And will it select some records? To do this, first I will enter these records in my table. So in the department table, I have to enter Rohit and marketing. Okay, insert into department values Rohit, comma null for the ID and marketing for the department. Okay, let's execute this. One row effective. Now let's see how is the table looking. I will execute this statement, and now we have entry for Rohit, whose ID is null and the department is marketing. Now similarly, I will insert values in salary. For salary, we don't know the ID, and we know someone is having a salary of 40,000. Let's execute this. And a salary of, what was the second value? 60,000. Let's execute this again. Okay. Now let's see the result for the salary. How is our salary table looking? Yeah, this is something we wanted. We wanted to see null as IDs and salary as 40,000 and 60,000. Now let's execute our inner join. So this was our inner join, and now let's execute this. Okay. So when we execute this, we see that the null values don't get compared. So no matter how many null values we have here or how many null values are here, they won't get compared. Null values are neglected during comparison in inner join. So we have learned three things today. And as a practice, I would say what you do is create a third table also and try to join three tables. Try to create a inner join on three tables and let me know in the comment section if you were able to do so. In case you are interested to see how we can join three tables, then let me know in the comment section. I will create a video on how to join three tables. So that would be a good exercise. And in case you are able to do so, then congratulate yourself because you have actually understood how inner joins work. Once you get a once you get to understand what is an inner join, the other joins become quite easy to understand. So that's all for this video. I hope you liked it, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel because that really helps me grow. And have a good day, everyone. Bye bye.